Welcome back to BCFM, the Beyond Coruscant podcast. Thanks for joining us. You're live, as always, with Jack and Cooper. And on today's podcast, we're going to discuss the week that was, including Maul, Shadowlord, the finale, Daredevil Born Again, the finale, and The Boys, Season 5, Episode 6. Now, welcome back to Jack. He was not here last week. Yep. He was out doing a little adventure, and he's back to discuss the absolute banger week of pop culture we had this week. Maybe. We'll get into Daredevil. Just a reminder to everyone, please do follow us on social media at Beyond Coruscant. And thank you to everyone who is subscribing. We are noticing the subscriber numbers go up. Thank you. Wait, keep at it. Keep at it, because we want to get to 1,000. We are very, very close. Very close. All right. Mr. Jack, Daredevil.
Yes.
You have been saying it since probably since the start of the show.
Probably since the start, yeah.
I would like you to start, because you have been very opinionated about the show.
Yeah, 100%. And I like to think personally I was right, because it did what exactly I think it was the most set up for, which I guess is good writing, but it was the most generic way, I think, to end a very hyped up season, and a very this season's going to be much better than the last one. You know, we're going to have a structured thing. We're bringing back, Jessica Jones. Oh, Lord. She just pops in left, right, and center, and then just pops out. She did not need to be in this show. I'm sorry for that. You did not need her. Yeah. And for the people who didn't watch Jessica Jones, they're going to be like, who's this random lady that keeps reappearing and disappearing every 2 seconds? Not needed. Bullseye is the best in every single episode he is in. It's clear to see that he actually has probably more development currently than any other character, in my opinion. He's now going to be a US agent type, kind of Dark Avenger, probably join them in some sort of way, shape, or form. Luke Cage showing up at the end, not a hype moment like I think maybe they were hoping for. And also, obviously, the actor himself spoiled where Daredevil's fate would end up being.
Yep.
So just to get that out the way, I think it wasn't a bad episode. I'm not going to say it was bad. My opinion, if this kind of season happened between 2 and 3, and had the end of 3, have the end of this one be like Fisk was then locked up, and then season 3 happened to finish it all off, I think it'd be great. The issue I'm having is that we're doing the same sort of stuff, just with him being a mayor, as exactly the same stuff as what we had from season 1, 2, and 3, even for that matter. You know what I mean? He was running the show from a building, and now what? He's just running the show from a different building. It's really annoying how it feels like they're trying to speak to us as the audience, oh, look at all this development. Oh, look at this build-up and everything. Dude, we've had this for other seasons and done more. Why are we... I love you, Fisk, and I love Daredevil and everything, but I'm sick of seeing the same 2 characters be the central focus of the whole thing. Can we not move on? Can we not have someone else step up to the plate? And what? People are going to argue saying, oh, now that's the whole point. But we've seen set photos of Fisk coming back anyway again, even if he's not the main threat. I need something different. This season was not creative at all. They played it safe. They did the Force Awakens. They had a story from the previous ones and just played it safe. They knew that it wasn't going to be as hated as the Born Again season 1, but honestly, the Born Again season 1 moments with Dex and everything, and the ones that they reshot, I think were generally better than most of the scenes we got from this season. In terms of the standout, it stood out way more last season too, because of how good they were in terms of the lawyering stuff and the prison stuff in the middle. But here, how often did we get Daredevil actually doing Daredevil-esque stuff, really? You know what I mean? He rarely did actually much. Apart from the Northern Star in the first thing, that was the most infiltrating and individual cover-ups and undercover stealth suit that he actually needed. What the hell was the point of having a black suit then? He didn't do anything. He was just there.
Is it fair to say
man.
Is it fair to say that Daredevil did more daredeviling in She-Hulk than he did in season 2 of his own show?
Honestly, he was doing more side quests there, it felt like. But and this is why I remember I was right. I can't remember his full name on YouTube. I'm sorry. Andy Lee, maybe? Australian dude? I think he's Aussie.
Don't know.
Anyway, an Aussie... I'm seeing on YouTube all of a sudden was Daredevil Born Again Season 2 a flop. didn't miss. And I said, once the show is done, once the season's done, people are going to look back on this season and go, hey, look, it actually wasn't that great. It was just more cohesive than the last one because it's slop. It is slop. I did not enjoy it. What little cool camera tricks with Daredevil throwing a thing is going to make me like the whole season? Come on, man. It's eye candy. It's not proper. And like, oh, what? Okay, guys, let's talk about the symbolism of Fisk wearing white when all the civilians were wearing fake Daredevil red from above, and it looked like the port. It's cool, but it's not. I'm here for the story, and the story did not land, and it was generic, and it was obvious, and it just didn't feel that great. And I'm sorry to say that it wasn't that good of a season, and I hope. Well, I'm seeing already more people start to see my side of it too, but I didn't think it was that great. Everyone was like hyping up on TikTok to be every week it gets better. No, guys, that's Invincible. Wrong show. Come on. Anyway, so that's my thoughts. I think overall about Born Again season 2. Look, it was more cohesive than the last, but it's none of the Born Agains are better than the original ones. And I'm sorry to say that. Like, what? You have more money to work with now, and you're doing almost less cool stuff than you did in the Netflix series. So it's a big sigh for me this season. It had cool moments, but it's just like, come on, we could do better. We can write something more creative. We played it so safe. That's me.
Maybe that was the point. Because maybe they'd lost a few people. Yeah, maybe they'd lost a few people in season 1, and it was like, let's give the people something that we can confidently build up, like hype up each week that people would be excited about. Yeah. And then season 3, let's try something different. And yes, I know, like seeing Fisk as the villain for 5 seasons now has been a bit of a frustrating repetition. However, I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and you might be different, have different feelings. You cannot do Vincent D'Onofrio and Fisk are so heavily linked to Daredevil that it would feel very wrong to not have him in the show in any capacity.
I agree, but that's what I meant as in like I didn't really say it when I meant like, oh, we still see the behind the scene. Like he's still gonna, I don't mind if he's in it, but as a central villain or this, like, no, I actually want Vincent D'Onofrio to be like the kind of, that he's a crime, like I want this to be like Tombstone too. He's a crime boss of, like, I liked him better when he was working as the underbelly in like season 1 of Netflix Daredevil, where people were scared of his name and they were too scared to betray him. I want him to be working and then like you see him in Spider-Man, or you see him doing stuff against other kind of New York heroes and stuff. I don't want him to just be like, the law won't work, but it will work for the end of the episode because it's the end of the thing. Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. Oh, no, the law's not going to work. We already tried that. How are we going to do this? Oh, wait, a law case kind of worked. Like, it's just, why is everything like, and then they locked him up in season 3. Oh, and then he still managed to weasel the system. We can't lock him up again. And then it's Daredevil with his midlife crisis of whether you should. It's just, it really is just the same thing, just done differently slightly. It's,
Yeah. Well, I feel like now, just because we're in the new age of Disney Plus, Daredevil is almost like, I'm going to compare it to The Mandalorian, and you're going to have to just give me a second to make the connection here.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian it's almost like a central hub for Disney. And you can see, because that era has connected so many different other projects. Ahsoka, Rebels, Skeleton Crew to an extent. All of these, it's the hub.
To an extent.
It's bringing in characters like Bo-Katan, like Ahsoka, like Luke Skywalker. Daredevil, I feel, is the same on the Marvel side. It is the platform. It is the one thing that is going to attract an audience, and it's where you can bring in characters from the past who are recognizable, try and set up new future storylines, like with Jessica and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and whatever. And it's a platform to just continue the legacy of what had come before. So I feel like they're very similar, and that's why I'm excited for season 3, because I feel like, unlike The Mandalorian, which kind of did a reversal of what they had set up in season 2, I feel like they're going to take it in a new direction. And that's what a lot of the end of this season meant for me. Like, we saw our characters in different places that we had than we had seen previously. So I'm excited to see how we transition into season 3 with how these characters are now in their present situations. And I feel like the Spider-Man movie is going to play a big part of how we lead into season 3.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Just to touch on the finale, I am kind of in the same boat as you, not to like the extent where I'm like, I really like the season was okay, but I didn't really enjoy a lot of it, because I did enjoy the season. The finale, the first half an hour, I really enjoyed. All the lore stuff was really fun. This is the stuff that we had mentioned throughout the weeks while we were covering season 2 that we really missed from season 1, because that was a lot of fun.
The main part of almost his character.
Yeah. So to see him back in the courtroom and fighting for something that's very real and very like serious, that was great. And the way it kind of came to fruition, revelation, the reveal. The acting as well. It was all really good. The final 20 minutes just felt very
tacked.
What's the word? Like,
they needed a fight thing or something. Yeah. Like they needed something to end it, I guess.
Yeah, there was nothing special. It was like, let's have all of the city gang up on Fisk. And another thing, I know it's been brought up online. Fisk should be nowhere else but prison after what happened. I understand Matt's...
How does he kill innocents?
Yeah. He goes out of his way. It's not even self-defense. He literally goes out of his way to kill these people. And he's just on a beach somewhere. I don't understand that. I feel like that's a pretty poor way to end. I know you want to keep him for the future.
It would be cool if they were both locked up. Imagine seeing them both locked up and they got beef in the prison, and then Spider-Man comes to save Daredevil, and Fisk is like, "What about me, Spider?" And then Spider-Man's like, "Nah, not you, big boy," and then runs away.
That'd be a great way to. Hey, that's already better than what we've got. How the
sand between the toes.
Yeah. But look, I just, for season recap, I did enjoy. I thought the first 3 episodes were really strong.
I can agree.
And
probably.
Then I would say 5 I thought was really strong, even though that's the one we really disagree on. And then it started to fall off.
Yeah, it didn't really go. I thought it was going to go really up. You know what I mean? That's why I think the first 3 episodes did pretty well. It set the stage and it was building it, but then it kind of just didn't.
But also, you gotta think about it. The showrunners and the actors gave us expectations that these last 3 episodes would be absolute bangers, and they just weren't.
It was like, I guess it was somewhat better than last season's one, but it's like, I don't know. The first episode, I'll never forget the foggy moment. Like that was real proper shock, and impact on the story. You know what I mean? I don't think we really had any of that in this one. And they said, "Oh, something's gonna rival the season 3, finale." I'm like, was that really the fight scene like that Fisk had with Daredevil before, or was it like the I Am Daredevil, which just really did feel like an Iron Man situation at all? You know what I mean? I was like,
Daredevil.
I don't know. Like maybe but that's the thing. Maybe if he did more stuff, like that I Am Daredevil was only to win that Northern Star case. If it was something bigger, I know sinking a boat with all people on it is a big deal, but it didn't really feel like it was a central part of the season when this moment here made it like, that Northern Star ordeal was like the biggest thing ever when it was a 10-minute thing at the start of the first episode.
Well, I would say yes, but the whole narrative of that carried through for the first 3 episodes, and then we kind of
just fell off again. Yeah. It keeps being like the reoccurring like plot device almost for it, but I'm like, surely there'd be something bigger. Like the cages situation of the people were so much more visceral and scary than a boat sinking with guns. They got guns anywhere, so it's like, well, I don't know. Also, I feel like they needed a bigger punch for that maybe to happen.
I 100% agree. Also, massive waste of a character for Matthew Lillard.
Yep,
100%. What a waste.
Great actor. Waste. He didn't even do anything, and he was the rival of Fisk. For 1 episode. I don't know, man. But I think the Dex plot is going to be cool. I do.
Do you think we're going to still get Dex in season 3?
I think he did say, I think he's going to be in it a little bit, but not as much, I don't think. He did say, I think he was filming some stuff for it. But I can see it happening already. They're going to do a special presentation with him doing a mission for Matthew Lillard's character.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's just almost a guarantee. Oh, by the way, I think you get Punisher this Wednesday.
Couple days, yep. Exciting.
Exciting. Very exciting.
Yes. Yep. All right. Just to finish up the Daredevil segment, a score out of 10 for the whole season. Do you want to share?
6.5.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
Yep.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
Yep. I think that's pretty valid. Yeah.
I think
Thanks.
we're both hovering around mid, but I can understand why
it
we've
could have
gone
to 7. It could go to 6. It could stay at, you know what I mean? Like, I think yours could go to an 8. Yours could drop to a 7.
Yeah.
Like, kind of
Yeah.
very, yeah.
Yep.
I think it's valid.
All right. Drop your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again season 2 in the comments below. Let's move on. Do you want to do Maul?
Definitely.
Okay. Maul Shadowlord.
100%. Yeah.
Holy goodness me. We knew it was coming. But
we did.
Did they deliver and then some? Holy moly. And I'm so glad they left the title of the episode 10 a secret, because that was a great reveal. The darthmaul.
Did they when they released the episode names, did they have that not as an episode? Like, did they have a different?
Yeah, no, it was blank. It was called it was just called episode 10.
Oh, we should have probably known, and it wasn't going to be that when he showed up. I thought it did have a placeholder name. That's why I was like, because we all thought he was going to come into Creeping Fear. But if like, if they had a different name, then I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Like, if it had no name, I swear I would have been like, yeah, he's showing up in that.
Okay, it did like, on Wiki. This is on Wikipedia, by the way. It did have the name Finale, which is why I was confused, because I'm like, aren't we getting a second season of this?
Yeah, maybe that's why I just assumed it was just like, or it was more based on the plot of Devon or Maul or something. But I was like, I feel like it would have kind of been obvious if the last one was left deliberately to be someone important character. Like, or the Emperor or something. Yeah, it depends which way they want to go with it or something like that. But yeah. Anyway, you start.
Okay, all right. I got nothing but glaze for this show. Oh my god, I can't believe I was a non-believer at the start. This is insane.
I was so mad that you were, to be honest.
I'm gonna be completely transparent with you all. I'm still not sold on Lawson, but I'm still not sold on him.
I love him.
He's not dead, right? He's 100% not dead.
Oh yeah, no. I don't think anyone's saying that. Dude, they wouldn't show him seeing what happened to Darky for no reason.
Yeah,
like, because if they that is obviously going to be a plot device for Devon later. Like, this, it just is.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have shown us. Yeah, and and Lawson saw it, didn't he? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then he walked into. It was Lawson.
Okay,
and then he walked into the fog, and we didn't. So that's two very clear examples that I think they're going to use as important stuff for later. But yeah,
yes. Really liked it. I thought episode 9 was the best episode of the season by a landslide. It was 7 for me.
Yeah,
and then this one just. The action throughout, the kind of chase,
the choreograph,
the time crunch, the tension, and then the reveal at the end was all just fantastic. It was so good. And then 10 was good. I liked it. I liked the action in 10. I just think that I'm gonna probably say something controversial here. I think we had too much Vader.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
We had too much Vader.
I thought you were gonna say maybe too. I thought you were gonna say too much of an extensive fight. I thought you were going to say in episode 10.
Yes. No, I just think we had too much. Cool, have him show up, make it a quick fight, and then go to something else, or save Vader's reveal for the final episode and do it in a condensed way. Because I just felt like, they kept running away, and then they cut to another part, and then he caught up, and then they cut to another part, and then he caught up. I feel like that worked well for him, because he was like an animal. You know what I mean? He wasn't. He was a predator that they couldn't, fight against. So they were trying to run as a prey. I think that worked better. In my opinion, okay. I think it worked fine. Yeah. Okay.
For that.
Shout out to the animation team, because they made Vader's fighting look effortless, and that's perfect. That's exactly what it needs to be. Rip Darky, but we knew it was coming. We knew right from the get-go. We knew it was coming. Yeah. Really excited for season 2 to see how that plays out, because there's a lot of avenues that could go down. Maul's lost pretty much all of his shadow collective now, so
it'll be Crimson Dawn or nothing now.
If this doesn't link to Solo, I think that's a huge wasted opportunity.
Do you think Devon is around when we saw him in Solo?
Yeah. Okay. 100%. I think if we don't get a link here, I think that's a real shame.
I do think I'll say it in my thoughts, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it will. It should link, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
The only other thing I want to say about this series in general, I guess, is as much as I glaze Andor,
Do it. Do it.
this
I'm waiting
is
for it.
my highest rated, most enjoyable Star Wars
I
series
agree.
that has come out. I like it better than Clone Wars.
I agree.
I like it better than Andor.
Same. The animation.
They made everything perfect. It's amazing.
But can we agree that I called this one too? What did I say about the 2-episode releases? That the first one of the two always ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. You're right. That's a certified Beyond Coruscant take.
They set up. Yeah, they set up the not like that first episode of the 2 episodes is bad, but at the end there's always something that leads to the main part of the next episode. It happens almost every time they did it, and I think it worked well. It was a good formula. I mean, it probably could have then, if I was going with that route more, I probably should have expected it more. I mean, I think when I think it was Marok that said, inform him. Some people online, I watch their reaction, they go, oh, I wonder who that is.
Come on. Yeah.
Like, that was the most
dumb.
That was clear as day. That was clear as day. They're not going to inform a high Imperial person. Come on. Like, it was so clear. But then it did try to throw you away with the sound of like that animal kind of thing. Like before you saw him appear through the fog, it sounded like a wild animal or something.
Yeah.
But I think that was the point of that. I do think Marok shouldn't have said that. I think it would have been even better
if
he didn't say inform.
Did you hear?
I reckon because they would have known. Yeah.
Did you hear that the voice actor for Rook cast? Yeah, you know where I'm going. Said that
it's so messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, in an interview, the voice actor for Rook cast said that when she found out that she was going to die by Vader, how do you think that Vader killed Rook?
They asked, how did you want to die?
Yeah, how did you want to die? And she said, I want my lungs ripped out by Vader. How epic is that?
Yeah, using the Force. Yeah, that's insane work. Yeah. That is ridiculous. But yeah, that's probably what you heard, the weird squelch and sounds, I guess, in the forest of it. But there's not really much I could say for it, really. It was a perfect way to end the season. It was a perfect way to set up another season. This is a perfect way to show how to do an animated season, like fully, properly, you know what I mean? With its title character being the main focus, but also still having side characters that all build up to his character in some way or aid the main character. Yep. And my issue with Andor season 2 a bit is that we did kind of like go away with other side characters a lot more without a proper, I guess, setup. But that's with the time jumps and everything too. And, that's what shocked me about Andor season 1 to begin with. We all expected it to be Andor focused, and entirely it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it was more of a rebellion. It should have been called the rebellion or something. You know what I mean? Like, but no, it was a great. The animation is unbelievable. And my thing is
so good.
Hot take here, maybe potentially. Hot take here. I don't want to see this animation with any other Star Wars project though.
Yep.
Because I want it to be unique to Maul. I love it, and I wish Clone Wars did have aspects where it looked like this. Imagine how cool that would be. But I feel like it's like the Into the Spider-Verse animation. Now a lot of movies are adopting that kind of style, and I think it loses its like kind of how cool it is and unique and creative it is for it. If it's known, if other characters had animated shows with it, have a unique style to it, art style. Like, that's why I did like Visions, because I liked seeing the different studios have their ideas. I just didn't care for the stories as much. You know what I mean? But I liked seeing the different animation styles, like the Ronin one, the black and white with the bright red, peering through. It was just brilliant, and it had way cool aspects with this too, with the lightsaber screams and the Force holding the blade with the fire. Oh, and the way they blurred the background. Like, imagine my background being watercolor smudged, kind of. You know what I mean? It's very, very cool. And overall, it did a great job. I do think Devon is going to leave Maul in season 2. And this is what I mean about connecting to Solo. I think either she is with him at the time or she's not. But I do think whatever happens, I kind of hope they go down the route where Maul trains with her a lot. She becomes Darth Talon, or Talon, maybe, because he's on Darth. So I don't know. Like, you have to change her name probably, but she becomes Talon, I guess. Then Lawson brings up this thing. She's not really a Sith at the moment. She's more just the a dark Jedi, or kind of like Balin, right? Until Lawson maybe brings this to light for her, she, instead of being sad, she gets angry at Maul for lying to her the whole time and deceitful. So then she goes full Sith kind of evil and goes off her on her own, and we might see her in a project in Ahsoka, or even, man, that species lasts longer than humans, even in the Rey, like, future movies and stuff, be the main Sith villain. So you built up a character from prior who is now you're going to see, like, kind of like they built up Ahsoka. Cool. Now, you know what I mean? Instead of just building a character up within the movie and then just killing them off or something like that. You know what I mean? I think that would be do it very well.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping for that kind of for Devon, which would be really cool. I hope she's not going to be related to because she depends if she survives or not. But I don't want it to be related to the Thrawn kind of. I don't want her to be in that, if that makes sense. I would, because I don't know why she would alliance herself with that anyway. I feel like she's definitely on her own now in terms of her ideas and stuff, and just hates kind of. I don't think that's the thing. She doesn't hate the Jedi. It's not about that. I think it's maybe if they want to go the route of her being not a Jedi at all, is maybe saying my master was blinded by kind of Jedi morals, maybe, or Jedi principles, but she's not like Maul in that sense, you know what I mean? Maul still hates the Jedi. He just hates the Empire more currently. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't really hate the Jedi. She doesn't really like the Sith. She just kind of does what she wants to benefit her at the time, which I think is great. So it's a very complex character and layered character, which we do like in Star Wars, and it's cool. And the dialogue was really good in the show too. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be, people act like it has to be Christopher Nolan level like dialogue. No one wants that for Star Wars all the time. You just need it to not be cringy all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it just needs to be serviceable at the best. And the voice acting was great. Like, there was no dialogue lines where I was like, You know what I mean? But overall, great. Loved it. Great show. And I'd give it 9.8.
Whoa! Dang. That's a high score there. That's a high
honestly,
score.
I think I would only give it a 10 if some of the episodes were slightly longer. I think.
That's fair.
I kind of wanted a bit more.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I can say like, it was pretty perfect.
It was almost perfect. It was an almost perfect show.
Yeah.
I would have given it a 9.5. Just literally, besides the first two episodes feeling a bit sluggish, I thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
That is it on Maul. We're done with Maul. Oh my god.
Sadly.
So sad.
Yeah.
Let's finish up with the boys now. The boys. Last week was a what just quickly, what do you think of last week's episode 5?
Was
the
that
one where they had the different perspectives, the one where Firecracker died, and
so much fun.
Yeah.
I genuinely loved it, but the only issue, which I can agree with other people, and it's my thought about the whole show so far. It doesn't feel like a season finale. It's good though, but it's not. People are saying it's not good. It doesn't, But no, these episodes are actually good. It just doesn't feel like a season show finale at all yet. That's my only gripe. But in terms of what was happening, it was fun. It was enjoyable to watch. It gave us multiple perspective, which I think is good, because so far with the boys show, they really only go from two Homelander's perspective and the boys, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, it's great to see the other side. I thought it was a great episode. Yep.
Yeah, good. I think there's a lot of people who were unsure about it, but I agree with you. It was a good episode.
Great.
Now this week we said goodbye to another one of our main cast members. Rest in peace, Black Noir. You went out. Noir. You kind of set it up for yourself, to be honest.
Yeah, not gallantly at all.
I feel like it was such a waste of potential. They could have done so much more with that character.
They needed to. I do think it's going to help the deep story out though for now, because I think he's not, because they were going to use Noir as initially before he got the V1 stuff. Obviously, was going to use him as the miracle.
Yeah, they were. You know what? The deep's going to be the miracle now. Just have some fish. He comes comes surfing in on a wave.
The deep is so cool. Like, I don't see Deep surviving at all. Like, he's so dead. But yeah.
Just quickly, I'm gonna say my thoughts. So I think this was the narrative driver that we needed a couple of weeks ago in terms of where we were maybe 2 weeks ago, and now where we are now. I feel like this should have happened a couple of weeks ago. However, in saying that, I can 100% see Kripke going, all right, let's establish the stakes. Let's keep it. Let's drag it out as long as we can until we have to, and
Mm.
then let's do this big reveal. Because to be
Mm.
honest, I think maybe 75% of people did not think Homelander was going to get V1. I was very surprised they went in that direction.
I say this is my thing. I think most people did, in my opinion, because of the trailer shot. In the trailer shot, you saw someone that looked eerily like Soldier Boy, and you saw very blurry, but like a injector thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I'm like, I thought that shot in the trailer. My thoughts will obviously be later. I think they kind of ruined it themselves with that reveal with the trailer. They needed to not show any of that Homelander beaming up. Because in my head the whole time, I'm like, that's V1. Why he doesn't normally look like that with his lasers? I'm like, come on. So that's my thoughts about that.
Okay, all right. I was shocked. Yeah. Maybe I just wasn't thinking about it in the moment. Because I knew that shot was coming, but I didn't think they would do it. And because it's like they've established this almost unstoppable threat with Homelander for the last 4 seasons, and then there's this thing that makes him untouchable. Like, how are you supposed to end a series now with the bad guy being unstoppable, like even more unstoppable?
Yeah, I've got a theory. I do have a theory after I'll tell you about.
It was a good
episode. Keep going, yeah.
It was, sorry. It was good. It was a good episode. Just trying to think about what else happened. Sage defected. Sage isn't winning me over.
It was just for herself. Yeah.
I think my biggest issue, which I'm hoping is not an issue going into next week, there's still a lot to wrap up in 2 hours of television. There's a lot, and I'm worried that there's not going to be enough time to do everything justice. But now, having seen, and this might contradict what you're going to say in a minute, having seen that Homelander's got the V1 now, I do see a real possibility that the bad, like Homelander, wins in the end. And that would be a crazy subversion of expectations, in my opinion.
I think no. And this is my theory that's going to get into it. Yeah. But is that your point?
That's all. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I do think that I thought with knowing that I think in my head that he was going to get the V1, when Sage throughout the constant episode was like, oh, you know, I'm so smart. I know people are predictable. I'm like, here we go. Soldier Boy's betrayed. Like, you know what I mean? Because at the time it was set up that Soldier Boy wasn't going to obviously help Homelander. And then at the end, the reveal was he's just going to give it to him because he thinks that's what Stormfront Lady Clara would have wanted. But I thought that was kind of obvious because Sage kept reinforcing when she doesn't normally, like, she's confident, but she doesn't gloat about, you know, everything being perfect. You know what I mean? And this episode, she was going ballistic with it. Every person she could tell she was the smartest person. The legend is cool. I like the legend.
He was cool.
Do you?
Yeah. He was fun.
I like him and his interaction with Homelander. I think it was one of the best interactions we've gotten in a long time. Yes. Very, very long time. It was great. My thought theory process with this is Soldier Boy is going to end up regretting the decision, and Soldier Boy will end up fighting with the boys to actually kill Homelander, I think, after all this, because I think they're going to, because I have seen the trailer the trailer shot with Homelander in the presidential suite, and in the comics he killed the president, so he's probably going to do that. And in Soldier Boy is going to realize how bad the situation is going to be now with Homelander being immortal. So I do think he's going to switch sides, and I think there's going to be a big fight, I think, with the boys and Soldier Boy against Homelander, and I think Sage is going to cook up some concoction with the boys to maybe help beat this immortal Homelander, or a weakening tool or something like that. Because don't forget, she's meant to be the smartest person in the world. You're telling me she can't think of a way to, not like an antivirus or something, but like some sort of way that they could take him out, or, you know, amplify Soldier Boy's abilities or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some, like, his explosive taking away abilities, amplify, and then he can take away the V1, and then they just kill Homelander as a regular human. I do think something like that might be the case, because I think now most people will be thinking that Homelander's going to win with the V1. I think that's the generic one now. That kind of like, He's been unstoppable already. Now he's got the V1. Oh, he's going to win. No. And I think people are going to be upset about that. And I can see that happening if they do the way that I just said. I do see people being like, oh, well, you build him up for this long and now all of a sudden he's just... Like, I'm not saying I want this to happen, my theory, but I feel like that's what they're going to do. Because I feel like now the writers themselves think, oh, everyone's going to think Homelander's going to win. And then we're going to, like, actually subvert that again and be like, oh, actually, no, Soldier Boy's going to re-betray them again. And then, like, they're going to build something to, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's too obvious for Homelander to win right now. Because I think in everyone's head, it makes the most sense. If this was a real situation, it makes sense. He's not dying. He's going to win. You know what I mean? From what we gathered from everything now, there's no way the boy should win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why they're going to change that up and do something different like that, I feel.
The only problem I have with what you said, because I do agree with a lot of it, they have promised a Butcher versus Homelander fight from the start of season 3 or season 2, whenever it was, when they were in the apartment. And specifically, they used the words blood and bone, which is the title of the final episode. Yeah. I just feel like Soldier Boy, the final fight has to be between Butcher and Homelander. It will be what they have set up.
I think either it zaps his V1 and then Butcher has his one-on-one with Homelander, or it's literally they both lose their powers with the Soldier Boy explosion, and then it's human versus human, Homelander and Butcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
So, can Homelander actually fight to save himself against two humans to see who's got the more stronger moral will, I guess. Something like that, I reckon, is going to happen, because there's no way they could have a fair fight now, because Butcher's powers aren't even that. Like, it is strong, but they're not.
He got beat by Bombsight.
If he had Soldier Boys, that's what I think he got caught off guard. I reckon Bombsight's pretty OP though. By the way, love Bombsight. I think that he was great. And I can't wait for the prequel series now after this episode. And Golden Geisha, all that kind of stuff. I loved it. And I loved the Kimiko's realization. Frenchie realizing her kind of point of view and all that. And I think that's a great discussion point. And a great episode. I loved it. It progressed it nicely, had good action. The dialogue was really well written in this episode. And even Butcher's like run was haunting with the violins, and it just got you amped and scared and everything. It was great.
Yes.
It was fantastic. The ending was fantastic. So,
fantastic, he says. Fantastic, he says.
Say that again. No, but that was great. I loved it. So overall, in terms of the week of the stuff, the only one I didn't actually like was Daredevil. Honestly, realistically, that is it for me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, next podcast, which is this week, we have Punisher, and the boys, and that's it. That's
sad. That's very, very sad. But I reckon there's going to be some big announcements though. Even maybe after the Punisher one, I reckon there could be some big Marvel thing leading into maybe Spider-Man or another Spider-Man trailer, which we've been hearing about. So,
Spider-Man's not that far away. Oh yeah, we do need a Doomsday trailer.
Or a Doomsday. So it could be something like that to discuss about. Or if not, we'll be keeping posted for you guys anyway with any like shock updates before we go live. But yes, it's going to be a big because this next episode on The Boys is I forgot the name of it, but it talks about Kimiko, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie. So
yes, it does.
It's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
We're getting our Gen V kids in it next week, so
yeah, and they're going to die in 2 seconds, probably knowing how poorly written they've been in this season. Like, there's going to be thrown away like nothing, probably. I feel like, but
yes, we will see. Alrighty, well, that will do us for this week. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Much appreciated, and we'll see you next week.
Catch you guys.